Lo and behold, we've made it to the Bigfoot encampment or shelter. I'm zooming in from far away to see if anything's staying or living in there, whether that be human or Bigfoot. It's not. It looks empty. It still stands. However, I'm pretty sure when we put it on our site, hundreds of people came up here looking for this. Now, I'm not saying Bigfoot built it, but I'm saying that you have to take into consideration that something had to carry all them logs for a good mile to 2 miles. Huh?
I see some deer.
Do you see where the deer?
Deer right there.
Where?
Right here. Right there through those trees.
Oh shit. Don't move, dude. Wait. I'm gonna see if I can follow him on camera. Oh. There's 3 of them.
There's 5.
Yeah.
I got them on film. Anyhow, ladies and gentlemen, those deer just ran past that Bigfoot shelter. You have to understand, the shelter was built in this area because the deer population is higher than anywhere else in the range, at least for the next 5-6 miles. This is a very intense deer grazing area. The grass is high, there's plenty of foliage for a deer to eat, and I believe that that shelter was designed on purpose in this area for whatever lived in it could use it to catch the deer, because the deer are here. Every time I come into this area, this part of the woods, we'll see 5 to 20 deer easily every time. My son spotted the deer, and I could have gotten a picture, but instead I decided to get some video footage. But I want to show you. You have water, you have a constant food supply, remoteness, all the things a Sasquatch likes and needs to remain elusive and also sustain itself at the same time. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna examine the shelter and see if we can collect any hair samples. See if there's any new mutilations as well. It's not going to be easy. We're going to climb to the top of the Sierras, but we'll do it. We're true explorers. I want to see if there's any new rocks for tree banging, hair samples, mutilations, snare traps. Even if a human were to build this, you really don't have many logs. There's a few fallen, but whatever built it could have spent a couple days gathering the right wood to lock into the tree to create the shelter. One end is fortified, which blocks the high Sierra winds from Tahoe. So as we approach it, and it's no secret now, and we put it on the web, our video had gotten thousands of hits. Our website got 1 million hits alone on this place. So you're going to draw in curiosity. People are going to want to know what it is. And some were like, no, Bigfoot cannot sleep in here. He can't get between the slats. And people don't understand. An 8-foot creature, just because it's taller and a little wider, doesn't mean it cannot fit. There's areas that are a few feet wide where something could easily fit in between. I could already tell this site's been tampered with. Someone's tampered with it. You can tell. It's a few missing logs. And someone put wiring around it. Look. Is there a Santa hat here?
Yeah, no, so. That's kind of cool.
Look, the whole fortified end is ruined.
Yeah.
Somebody's trashed this.
Yeah.
We'll be back with more footage. I gotta inspect this site a little further. We'll take off our packs and examine the site. Okay, upon further examination of the site, I could tell you what's changed. There's now a huge entrance right here. This thing in total is almost 6 feet wide. Easy for a Sasquatch creature to run in. The fortified end is broken down. It's missing all its bark. There's also a Christmas stocking. This is not something, keep in mind, it's not something you see all the time. Well, look, there's a Christmas stocking, which means A, Bigfoot made it down to Carson City. Could have stolen it, scavenged it out of a garbage can for all you know. It does make sense. Because the houses come at the bottom of the mountains and people hang decorations out, and this is a creature that might have gathered the stocking to put items in, food items, so it doesn't carry them loose in its arms while it's climbing the mountain. Think about it. Why would there be a Christmas stocking in the middle of nowhere sitting on, sitting here? I mean, everything's been moved. Look, Oz. This has been, look, these been put in here. These weren't in here last time, those logs. But we're coming here to make a return trip. This is more of a follow-up expedition. We're just following up on the shelter to see if there's any hair samples, scat, any signs of human or Bigfoot activity, tracks, things of that sort. You could see how the end is very built up, very fortified, but not as fortified as it was. It's really changed. People have removed wood, been tossing things around. Like I said, the Christmas stocking don't mean it's Sasquatch, but it could be. I think somebody came up here and removed everything. Jared, someone removed everything. Remember the rock that was sitting on there?
Yeah, it's still there.
Is it? Where is it?
They didn't touch that.
Oh, it's been moved to another log. And a lot of people have written me, ladies and gentlemen, they're like, I built it, or it was a joke, or, they're trying to take credit for it, and I know they didn't build it. And then one guy's like, we cut up the log, that's not caused by tree banging. And I'm like, okay, that's all good. I just seen a lizard. That's all good. I can understand the slice marks. What I cannot understand in these logs is the nicks. A knife did not make the nicks. It's a very special type of rock. There's many quartz crystals inside. Let me try to tree bang. See if we get a response back. It appears that someone's contaminated the site. Like I said, anything I post, you got a whole shitload of people that just follow you around. If you find it, they got to go find it and claim credit too. Just like finding Bigfoot and all these other paranormal shows. Whoa.
That was me.
Oh, just like finding Bigfoot and all. They've never chosen locations I've done until I found tracks at these locations. Now they're just like, hey, let's just do a show over there. Let's just steal this guy's work while we sit and pick our ass. Meanwhile, guys like us are up here climbing rocks and mountains and scratching, bleeding because we're sitting there making our way through the mountains. Yeah, there's been some logs moved around up here. Somebody's been up here and... Where's the deer? Oh, there he is running.
He's so cute.
There's deer everywhere. Wow. We've made it to the, I call this the Bigfoot encampment. Could have been built by humans, but it does not mean that Bigfoot did not use this shelter at one time or another when it had perhaps conceived a juvenile Sasquatch. A whole family could have survived in here. And people say, oh, it's not big enough for one to fit in here, but in the middle is 16 feet high. And then on the ends, there's spaces 5-6 feet wide where it can just jet in there. There's deer all around us, but I want to show you. Jared's behind the camera. He's going to be producing this film. That way I could talk about things. Somebody took this rope and they tied it all around, which to me makes no sense. See the rope? Because it's not secure, and this is not going to fall down. Every time we put a site or a location on our site, we get a bunch of teenagers and adults who come up here and they vandalize, they contaminate the site. This site's been contaminated. When we came, you see these logs in here? They weren't here. There's been bark and logs. We found a Christmas stocking, and it's shredded. Look how shredded it is. Like something, there's teeth marks. Something was gnawing on it. You can see it. And then, let's see, come around here, I'll show everybody. The snare trap to hang the meat is gone. You see up there? You guys remember on the last film a year ago? It weaved in and out so you could hang pieces like deer legs and meat so other animals couldn't get to it. It's gone. Now let's come around here. Jared, follow me inside the fortification. I call this a Bigfoot encampment for a reason, ladies and gentlemen. Because obviously someone built this to live in and camp in, but it's also, there was a Bigfoot track, there was a rock on a tree log, a snare trap, a mutilation I can't explain. So even if a human built this, because a lot of people are claiming it's theirs. I've had 20 people write me saying, this is mine, this is mine. You have to consider the posts are anywhere from 5 to 15 inches deep in the ground, posts, tree logs, whatever. This end's been fortified so there's no wind. Look how secure. Nothing moves. Then you have these 3 pillows, and then like I say, you have tracks going up to Tahoe, which recently there's been major Bigfoot discoveries in Lake Tahoe. That includes my research. And then you have these slats where you could look out like this. Oh, I see a deer. And then they just jet out and pounce it, break its neck. They bring it back here. They could clean it on the logs. Maybe dump the bones a mile downwards, but there's not a lot of logs, and this is over, you know, you're looking at 20, 30 logs that something had to carry. So let's come over here. Follow me, Jared. Jared's going to learn how to produce films, because that's where it's at. It's not pictures, it's film. People like films. Now, was this the log that was cut up, or was it down here? Remember with the nicks? I tried to
Go left.
right here.
Yeah.
Someone said, oh, I made cut marks into the log, but I didn't believe it. I seen some slice marks, but if you look, focus on this. This was not made with no knife. This was made with the edge of the rock. Look, it fits perfect in there. Something chipped it. And look, we can increase the chip, see? And you could chip it. Yeah, there's some slice marks, but that doesn't explain all the nicks you have. And last time I found a golf ball from the golf course. It was under here, which makes me believe a juvenile Bigfoot was in the location. What we're going to do is I'm going to collect hair samples. And then we'll go ahead and we'll move on and go up to the Tahoe Basin. What we'll do is we'll climb those mountains, and then we'll follow the ridge along the top till we reach Snow Valley Peak, which overlooks Lake Martlet, probably Hobart Reservoir, and Lake Tahoe. That's an area where me and Jared came across a monster, a true monster, and Bigfoot evidence and UFO evidence. So you have to wonder, how can you not hike here or explore here knowing that this is a prime spot for the paranormal? In addition, you have at least 9 people who have been found mysteriously dead, or they've never found them, or they found their bones 10 years later in a bush. So when you take that into consideration, you look at the shelter, you look at the Bigfoot evidence, the UFO evidence, the tracks, that monster we came across, and those eyes that were 8 feet tall staring back at us, and you put all that together and you have to say, maybe these deaths, all these people's deaths and vanishings might be related to something of the paranormal, whether it's alien, Bigfoot. There's drought, so there's a lack of food. If you're by yourself, like I said, I've seen a guy by himself. Who's to say that something can't leap down from a tree, pounce a man, break his neck, carry him off to its den up in the mountains, skin the individual, and dine in? Yeah, it's a peaceful creature. Anyhow, the snow's gone. About 2 weeks ago, there was some powder up here. It's been so warm, it's all melted. So it's a prime day, an ideal day to be out here looking for evidence. if it hasn't already been contaminated. Our second expedition of Kings Canyon, Nevada. Check us out, www.paranormalghostsociety.org. This twine you seen, ladies and gentlemen, was up in the tree. I don't remember it being as long as it is. You're looking at 6, 12, 18, 20, 24, 30. You're looking at least 30 feet of twine. But what's interesting is you have the pine cone. Check this out. And it looks like the same twine that was up in the tree. Like something threw it up and it was hanging meat from it. This is a common practice with bushwhackers and Bigfoot to keep bear and other animals while they're away from eating their meat. You basically take the twine, put it 10 feet up, 12 feet up in the tree over a branch, and nothing, not even a mountain lion can possibly get to it. Not much has changed, but like I say, I mean, there's a log missing here. You can see it. I believe it was in here. It's a mess. It's a mess. Somebody came in here and they've literally messed this place up in the worst of ways. People don't have a lot of consideration when it comes to checking places out. They always want to destroy things. And you know, it's possible there could be hair samples, but we'd have to look down. We'd have to find it. Any kind of hair would be good. Doesn't mean we'll get a DNA sample. Did you know that most Bigfoot hair samples contain human DNA? Because Bigfoot has, I believe, some Homo sapien within him. I mean, when you look at the DNA, it's just, they're very close compared to ours. Wow.
No good, bro.
So seems like it.
Yeah.
We're going to try to access that peak right here. That peak is one of the highest in the Carson City area. From the Carson City, it looks like a little triangle or pyramid shape. But when you get close to it, you can see it's just a slants to the left, gently ascending, and then there's to the right side, it's very steep, which gives it that triangular look. We want to stand somewhere up there. And like I say, I mean, this area is known for paranormal. We've gotten UFO pictures, UFO video, Bigfoot evidence. We've even encountered face-to-face with some unknown creature, all up in this area. Does it need to be examined and researched? Yes, it does. We cannot ignore what exists here. Well, granted, it's very close to Carson City. People are like, there's no such thing as paranormal close to Carson. I beg to differ. This is a gateway into the Sierras right here. And you can go for hundreds of miles, south, north, or even head west. And it's nothing but wilderness. Who's going to see you? Especially at night. If you're working your way through the woods for 50, 60 miles at night and there is no trail, nobody's going to know you're back here. You know, this is pretty primitive country. We're going to climb to the top of the Tahoe Rim in the Sierras. This is exciting. This is Expedition 2 of Kings Canyon. We're not even in Kings Canyon. Now we're on the top of at the top of the Sierras almost at 9,200 feet. This is Lord Rick. Peace out. We'll be back with more footage.